What up, everybody? It's your boy, JayHemms. We're back again with another video. Today, I'll be reacting to NBA legends explain why Larry Bird was better than everybody. So let's go right into the video.
And he would just fake the crap out of guys.
Let's get it.
Hey guys, this is Dominique Wilkins.
Hey, this is Sean Kemp.
This is Gary Payton.
Hey, this is Pau Gasol.
NBA fans, what's up? This is Vince Carter here.
Hey, what's up? This is Matt Barnes. If you're an old school NBA fan like I am, make sure you check out the Basketball Time Machine with my man Sean David.
Hey guys, what's good? Welcome back to the Basketball Time Machine. My name is Sean David. Thanks for tuning in. In today's episode, I want to take a look at more NBA legends giving their opinion why Larry Bird, Larry Legend, was so dangerous. All right, how do we start? I would say let's take a look at what some of the greatest legends of all time have to say about Larry Legend.
I don't know if I could ever tell you a memory. I'll just tell you that Larry was a phenomenal basketball player. The guy had unbelievable physical and mental toughness, which set him apart. I mean, that guy just would play through pain.
Bird is hurt. Bird is down, and he's hurt. And here comes Larry Bird, making his return from an apparent fracture of the right cheek.
Nothing bothered him. Unbelievable competitor, great hands, great vision, great feel for the game, and just, could go out every single night and just play at an unbelievably high level. Didn't have to shoot the ball really well to have a good game because he did so many different things.
Kevin McHale said Larry Bird was physically and mentally tough. Larry Bird is one of the toughest players in NBA history. He played through everything, and he suffered a lot of injuries. But yeah, Larry Bird, he's also known as one of the most all-around players ever. He could shoot, pass, rebound. He could do everything on the court, especially on the offensive end. Larry Bird was an absolute monster on the offensive end. Had 50, 40, 90 season. Like, Larry Bird is a hooper. Larry Bird was nice. And with the big games, he always showed up. Larry Bird always showed up in the big games, especially during his prime.
Didn't have to shoot the ball really well to have a good game because he did so many different things.
Or you said that not only would he talk to you, but he would tell you what he's going to do to you on the court. He's like, I'm going to shoot this from here. Boom. Oh, now I'm going to I'm going to bust you here. Larry Bird, of all people, you would think. But he was the truth.
He was, let me tell you something. People always talk about great basketball players, and they don't never mention him to be up in that round when they made the Magics, the Jordans, the Kobe's and stuff like that. But Larry Bird was cold. I don't think nobody ever could get out with him. You ask Magic. That's why Magic had a run, and he was mad when he had to retire in '92 because of what he was going to be missing with Larry Bird.
Now the next story that we're going to take a look.
Yeah, Larry Bird, like a lot of people, especially now, like, they don't mention him up with the greats. Well, in my opinion, I think Larry Bird is a top 10 player ever. I don't know about a top 5 player ever, but I think Larry Bird is a top 10 player in NBA history. Larry Bird was a beast.
Of what he was going to be missing with Larry Bird.
Now the next story that we're going to take a look at is actually pretty funny, and it is by Sir Charles Barkley. Let's have a look.
Bird didn't talk trash to you,
Oh my God, Bird talked trash to everybody.
But didn't he? Did he get to a point where he had respect for you?
I always tell this story about Larry Bird. I remember him, he was cursing under his breath. And I asked him, I said, Larry, what's going on with you? He says, you guys are being disrespectful to me. And I says, what are you talking about? He says, you guys are putting a white guy on me. That's disrespectful.
Wait, who's the white guy you put on him?
I can't remember who it was. I just started laughing. I had no comeback when he says, it's disrespectful when y'all put a white guy on me.
Larry broke into the league.
Larry Bird always got mad at that when teams put a white guy on him. He would get so mad at that. He would be dead serious, too. He would get so mad at that. Like he told Charles Barkley, y'all disrespecting his game. Like, he would really get mad at that. That is funny. That is hilarious.
He says, it's disrespectful when y'all put a white guy on.
Larry broke into the league, Rookie of the Year, had a strong first year. So I knew that I was teaming up with someone that was franchise-changing type talent.
You know, this guy, I think he was born to play basketball. Seeing him come in and making the adjustment early, taking a team that had won 20 games the year before, and, you know, the next year, I mean, you know, they're 40 plus, and the next year they're 60 plus.
When Bird was at Indiana State, and the first time we really got a chance to see him play on television, Indiana State played Bradley, and then, you know, fast forward, then they played DePaul, and Mark Aguirre, Terry Cummins, Teddy Grubbs on that team, and Larry Bird just, you know, he does this thing, and then of course they went on and they played Magic at Michigan State. But Bird was again, one of the greatest shooters, champions, competitors to ever play in our game.
You now join Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain as the only players in the 40-year history of the NBA to win the league's MVP award 3 years in a row.
That is crazy. Larry Bird really did win MVP 3 years in a row. That is insane. That is crazy. I don't know if that's happening again. You see guys win back-to-back, but 3 times, I don't know if that's happening. I don't know if that's ever happening again. 3 MVPs in a row? You was hooping out your mind. Larry Bird in his prime, he was an absolute beast. But I think also, too, when Julius Erving was discussing about Larry Bird, I think before he got drafted, the Celtics won like 20-something games that he got drafted. Did they win like over 60 games his rookie year? If I'm wrong, please put that in the comments. But I think they won over 60 games his rookie year, though. Or it was close to 60 games. It was something like that. But the win increase was like ridiculous. It was insane. Especially his rookie year. He blew out Magic Johnson for the Rookie of the Year race. Like, it wasn't even close. And Magic Johnson had great stats.
Okay. You now join Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain as the only players in the 40-year history of the NBA to win the league's MVP award 3 years in a row.
I'm really proud to receive this award for the 3rd time, but I really don't feel that my career is over. I think I can win it some more.
Nobody worked as hard as Larry. He was the first guy there. He was the last guy to leave. He wore that body out with the jumpers and the running and the movement and the concentration and the focus and the discipline and the sacrifice. He had it all. He wanted.
R.I.P. to Bill Walton. R.I.P. Always had a positive attitude. Always enjoyed watching his like interviews and all that. He was even funny commentating games as well. R.I.P. Bill Walton.
The discipline and the sacrifice. He had it all. He wanted the light on him. He wanted the focus, and he wanted that ball. And if it ever got to the point where Casey Jones, a coach who we just loved and would do anything for, if Casey would ever call somebody else's play, Larry would just say, no, I'm shooting this ball, and he would.
2 seconds on the shot clock. Bird wants a 3 out of it.
The one I really hated to guard was Larry Bird. He was not a nice guy. Matter of fact, there was one game in Cleveland where he was having a pretty rough first half, and in the old days in Cleveland, you walked off the court the same way at halftime, and I kind of puffed up on him and walked beside him and was like, yeah, you're 1 for 10. I was like, that's defense, and he just kind of looked at me and said, there's 2 halves. And he came back out and hit about 10 in a row on me, and the last one was left-handed, and he asked me if my mother was watching because he wanted to embarrass me. So,
oh my goodness. Why would you talk trash to Larry Bird? I always say people like great, like Larry Bird, like him, Michael Jordan, like Kobe Bryant, LeBron, like players like that. Don't talk trash to them. Like if they're struggling, don't say nothing to them, because then they're going to destroy you afterwards. It got so bad, he asked him, was his mother watching? That is insane. I always say Larry Bird was a savage in a good way. That is insane, asking your opponent, is their mother watching? That is nuts. That is insane.
Because he wanted to embarrass me, so.
Is Larry Bird satisfied now at this point in his career?
As of right now, I am. I know I got a lot of work to do this summer, but one thing we did this year is play hard. I get a charge when I tell somebody on the opposing team that I'm going to hit the last second shot and then do it. That's what it's all about.
Larry's open. 1-3.
I remember the Portland game. I think it was Super Bowl Sunday. We were playing the Portland Trail Blazers. He had like 52 points or something like that. We were down 3. He's a remarkable, crazy 3-point shot. He was leaning, and I was like, there's no way he's going to hit the shot.
DJ again to make the inbound pass. The double team and Bird. Larry fake, fall away.
Hits it at the buzzer. All right.
He's leaning, falling, gets a 3-point. I'm like, this guy's amazing.
That is an insane shot. But you already know, in the clutch, give Larry Bird the ball. He's going to deliver. That is a tough shot, man.
And I was like, there's no way he's going to hit the shot.
DJ again to make the inbound pass. The double team and Bird. Larry fake, fall away.
Hits it at the buzzer. All right.
He's leaning, falling, gets a 3-point. I'm like, this guy's amazing.
One thing I do remember now, this is practice, is I'm making a backdoor cut. And Larry actually spun the ball. Like, I had never dreamed of spinning the ball. He back spun the ball, bounced out in front of me. I about pulled a hamstring because I thought the damn ball was going out of bounds. It popped back up and it hit me in my hands. He just said, you get open, I'll hit you. And I went like, oh, okay then. I was like, and that I do remember because I remember thinking, I'm going to try that spin pass. I tried it once and said, I'm not doing that ever again. Like, I threw it out of bounds.
Off of the ball. Back to Larry Bird to McHale. What a pass. What a pass. McHale was open on that left side. I didn't think Bird saw him. He did.
He'll take it to the hoop. He can bet.
I think because Larry Bird was in the same era as Magic, that his passing get looked over. Larry Bird was an excellent passer, and his IQ was out of this world. Larry Bird had a very high IQ. I wouldn't say he was a better passer than Magic, but he probably was just as good of a passer, if not being close to being as good of a passer as Magic Johnson. Larry Bird could pass that basketball. Larry Bird was a great passer.
Back to Larry Bird to McHale. What a pass. What a pass. McHale was open on that left side. I didn't think Bird saw him. He did.
He'll take it to the hoop. He can bet. He's going to try to draw a foul.
It's blocked. And Seasting hit it off of a Detroit player. No, it is. Here's a disparity in the call. They're going to give the ball to Detroit.
Now there's the steal by Bird.
Great play. Great pass. Great steal and great pass from Bird on that.
What a play by Bird. Bird stole it.
Made no sense why Isaiah Thomas rushed that. Detroit must have didn't have a timeout. I think they probably did though in that situation. I don't know why Isaiah Thomas rushed that. He probably was so happy they was going to win the game. He just tried to pass the ball quick and just end it. But he didn't see Larry Bird not one bit. He didn't. That was a great defensive play by Bird and great pass to see Dennis Johnson and for the layup. That was nice.
Right up 1 second left. What a play by Bird. Bird stole the inbounding pass.
I think we were playing in Hartford, and we up 1, and we come out of the huddle, and Bird looks at me, and Kent Benson is guarding Bird, and Bird looks at me and he goes, he's got no shot, and he says it right to Benson as he was standing there, right? And sure enough, he gets it in on the left side of the court, takes it down to the baseline.
All right, here's Dennis. Gets it into Bird. Larry, a runner.
Got it! Ball game's over. Boston wins.
He absolutely didn't have no shot.
They win by 1. He walks off. He goes, I told you, you can't put him on me. He said, you better get somebody else who can guard me.
He absolutely didn't have no shot. Larry Bird blew past him so quick. Larry Bird blew past him so quick. Was that Keith Benson, right? Oh my gosh, he blew past him so quick. That pretty much was a wide open shot for game.
I think we were playing in Hartford, and we up 1, and we come out of the huddle, and Bird looks at me, and Kent Benson is guarding Bird, and Bird looks at me and he goes, he's got no shot, and he says it right to Benson as he was standing there, right? And sure enough, he gets it in on the left side of the court, takes it down to the baseline.
All right, here's Dennis. Gets it into Bird. Larry, a runner.
Got it!
Knocks it down. They win by 1. He walks off. He goes, I told you. You can't put him on me. He said, you better get somebody else who can guard me.
You know, Larry Bird really...
Oh, yeah. Excuse me from earlier. I said Keith Benson. I meant Kent Benson. I messed up his name. My fault. I apologize for that. Kent Benson.
Knocks it down. They win by 1. He walks off. He goes, I told you. You can't put him on me. He said, you better get somebody else who can guard me.
You know, Larry Bird really is my guy. Next to Michael Jordan, he's my favorite player of all time. And the older I get, the more appreciative I get of his game. I mean, this guy was a 3-time consecutive MVP, which is unheard of. And being so good without having the athleticism is just mind-boggling. And for all of you who didn't watch Larry Bird when he was playing back in the days, it's really, really great to go on YouTube and check out some of his documentaries to see where the guy's actually coming from and his work ethic and everything. So I can really recommend to you guys, if you got some spare time, check out some documentaries about Larry Bird.
Shout out to Sean David for this great video about Larry Bird. It's nice to see other great players talk about Larry Bird just to show how much respect they had for his game and how much respect they had for him as a player. Larry Bird was a monster. He was an absolute beast. Like I said earlier, I think he's a top 10 player ever. Him and Magic bought the NBA back in the 80s. 3 consecutive MVPs. That's insane. That is insane. He NBA champion, got finals MVPs, got all NBAs. I think he made a couple all-defensive teams. Like, Larry Bird was a beast. One of the greatest all-around players ever. So comment down below y'all thoughts about this video, y'all thoughts about Larry Bird. What was your favorite Larry Bird moment? What was your favorite game from Larry Bird? What do you like about Larry Bird the most? I'm just curious to see what everyone think. Furthermore, like and subscribe. Also hit that notification bell so you won't miss another video from me. And I hope everyone have a blessed day. I'm out.